I'll title this video The Narrow Ceramic Filter Trick, and as a corollary, why that's so important to better FM reception. What you're seeing is the scan of a normal stock 280 kilohertz ceramic filter that's supplied with an FM radio. Now, one thing that I'll point out is the station you're trying to receive is right here in the middle, in that saddle of that filter response. The stations to either side of it in your tuning spectrum are here, where the marker is located, and over here. And what has happened with the standard filter is that the station below is rejected this amount, and that ends up being about 32 dB. Why is that important? Well, when you're tuning a radio, you want to select the station that you want to listen to. You don't want to select the stations that are above and below it. This also is very important if you're trying to receive a weaker station that's near a strong station. Now, I'm going to take this filter out, and I'm going to put in a narrow ceramic filter. Now you see immediately that the station next to the one you're trying to receive is now rejected 54 dB. That's a 100 to 1 improvement in the amount of rejection that you're getting. You will also notice that the other side is also proportionally lower. I didn't do the exact measurements, but this is important because you're rejecting the stations you don't want to hear, and you're selecting much better the station that you want to hear here in the middle. Thought I'd show you the test setup for these filters. Before any of the experts on here ask, yes, I did properly calibrate my vector network analyzer before showing you these filter responses. It's a little difficult to do on the end of cables and in this fixture. I'm going to be getting a better fixture shortly that I laid out myself, but this one is good enough for low frequencies like 10.7 megahertz. And this little, let me point it with the pointer here, this little brown thing in the middle, that is the ceramic filter. When I say narrow or wide, I'm not talking about physical size. As a matter of fact, right now it's on the wide filter. If I put the narrow filter in there, you're not going to see any physical size difference between the two. You just see the better response on the vector network analyzer. So this is a ceramic filter. It's a 3-lead part, and you can find them in virtually every FM radio that you buy. Now, another detail that I want to give you about this is that most high-end radios and receivers cascade these things. So you have this response overlaid on another response overlaid on another response, and what happens is that the rejection gets greater and greater the further away you are from the center frequency. So let's put this into practice. I've got a good but not great radio. It's a shower radio, and first I'm going to install the wide ceramic filter in it, and I'll let you hear actual reception and see what you think. Okay, I put this radio on a local station. Please don't pay attention to the music. I don't intend copyright infringement here, especially not on that artist. But what happens when you tune off the frequency? You still hear the station. You hear it there a little bit. You hear a different station there, a different one there, and a different one there. You're not hearing it very clearly. You're hearing a lot of fuzz and interference on these, which are otherwise fairly strong local stations. They're just a little more distant. And you can even hear a little bit of the fuzz on adjacent stations. This is not what you want. You want crisp, clear tuning. You want the station that you're listening to come through without fuzz from adjacent stations. So I'm going to turn it off. Okay, here is with the narrow ceramic filter. You can now hear the music on a rimshot station about 80 miles away. It's got nothing but a too short whip antenna on it. I'm going to tune down 2 frequencies. And here is, it's a low power station. It's only located a few miles away. No fuzz, no static from the adjacent rimshot. Go down to this lower station that was getting severe interference before. The interference is gone. Back up to the low power, the rim shot. Realign the antenna a little bit. Now I'm going up. The only place I'm getting the strong local is right on frequency. So I have a tremendous improvement in the performance of this radio. If you took this out into the country, far into the country, you could receive stations clearly a lot further away because the radio is working hard only on the frequency you're tuned to. It's not trying to amplify a wide range like it is with a wide ceramic filter. So that is the result of a narrow ceramic filter. And getting them is a little difficult, but you can still get them from DigiKey and Mouser, but they are only surface mount versions, so you have to kind of solder little leads on them. But you can still get them. What you're looking for is a 150 kilohertz ceramic filter. Normally radios come with 280, which is almost twice as broad in the response. You won't hear any difference at all in the fidelity of the music, in the quality of the music. Some of these filters do get a little lumpy in their response, and there are audiophiles out there that want to get the smoothest response out of them. I've never heard a difference myself. So you can just get 150 kilohertz and put it in place of the 280, and your radio is going to sound just fine, and it's going to receive a whole lot better. Well, those of you who've seen my videos before know that I like to do terrible things to bad parts, and they don't get much worse than these wide ceramic filters. The only reason why they're in there is so that the tuning can get really wide, and people can tune a station and be way off on how they tune the radio, and it'll still tune in a station. And that's particularly advantageous if the tuning dial is really sloppy, something like it is in that shower radio or in an analog radio. But this wide ceramic filter isn't necessary if you have a good digital tuning radio and you have a nice wide scale on your radio. You can get so much more reception, so much better reception with a narrow filter. So I thought I would subject this awful wide ceramic filter to bite force. Oops, the weapon doesn't hit. Oh well, there it went. Bye-bye.